Hey, 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 welcome back to the In Between podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Cheney. I have attempted to record this episode 3 times. Yesterday was one of those days that it wasn't like bad, but like nothing went according to plan. And at some point when you're, however long into recording and then your computer says, oops, I need to update, you just got to stop and you got to update. So took the L. And here we are. But you know what? Not only is my computer updated, but I'm feeling more lively. Maybe this was just a little nudge from the universe in the right direction because I could use more of that, universe. Do you hear me? I could use a little bit more of you telling me what to do. So before I go down a existential vent sesh, how is everyone? Are you thriving? Can you believe it's August? Crazy. I feel like the beginning of this year was like, very slow. And then, whoop, the past few months have just been fast. Part of that I attribute to having Iris. Speaking of, I'm obsessed with her. Like, I can't imagine my life without her now. I know that there were a few times in the past couple of weeks where I'm like, have I made a mistake? Have I bitten off more than I can chew? But I haven't. And even though I knew that would be temporary, it was still a little bleak and hard there for a while because it's no easy feat raising a puppy by yourself. But I love her. I'm obsessed with her. Yes, she's a puppy. Yes, she's rambunctious and a little feral, just like her mom. But she's darling. Like, she is so incredibly sweet. All she wants to do when she's not being a little gremlin is love on you and cuddle and snuggle and be a little donut. And oh my goodness. And this week, past few days, I have transitioned her out of her crate at night and she's been sleeping with me in bed. Sorry to anyone who's like, dog's on the bed. Yeah, well, guess what? I want my dog on the bed. I want my dog on the couch. I want my dog tucked inside me. Anyways, it's been great. Like, she's been so good. No, not that she has accidents, but like not even having to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I do keep a puppy pad out just in case. Anyways, there's a 411 on how amazing my little girl's doing, but she's also teething. So I say all these compliments to also say the past 2 days have not been fun when I take her out for a walk. She has been so sassy, so diva-like. So I'm going to do what I want. And you know what? Normally I don't care, but when I'm practically dragging my puppy down the belt line on a busy Friday and everyone's like staring at me, I feel the need to be like, hey, don't worry, she's not having a heat stroke. She's just being a stubborn little girl. Love that girl down though. She's so cute. So there's that. Another big update. I just came back from Hawaii. I know, shock. Why didn't you tell us? Well, one, it's been several weeks since I recorded an episode. But two, this trip kind of came together at the very, very last minute. Of course, I went with my bestie, Ashley Anna. We had a time. It was so much fun. Dare I even say life-changing? But then again, I feel like all travel is life-changing in a way because, it opens you up to perspective and culture and this and that and all the things. So, of course, it can be life-changing if you look at it that way. One little thing I will say is your girl learned to surf. I know. It feels so badass. I learned to surf and I actually stood up on the board and did the damn thing. And I stood up multiple times. It took me a second to get there, but I got there and, I work out. I'm athletic. I say that with a weird face because I was never athletic growing up. I was a theater kid. Remember the crab claws from last episode? Anyways, I feel I'm proud of myself no matter what, but that pushed me out of my comfort zone because I don't do stuff like that. And honestly, maybe it's a little bit of being fearful of failure. Like, I'm going to be embarrassed if I don't make it. But then I thought to myself, you're in mother effing Hawaii. How badass would it be to say, I learned to surf in Hawaii, whether that was successful or not, you at least tried. And that's the main thing. You tried. You put yourself out there and you tried. And guess what? I did it. I figured it out. So yeah, I feel super badass. I want to do all the extreme sports now, but also not really because I'm not going to skydive or do some crazy shit like that because I'm terrified of heights. But, maybe I'll find myself on a wakeboard. Oh, my goodness. But I can't wait to post about the trip. I mean, I did the whole damn thing. I got a private lesson, got professional photos. I was like, I'll pay you the $60 for all these slow-mo videos of me friggin' doing work on that surfboard. But I was very proud of myself. Very cool indeed. But I will say this, with the Hawaii trip and the past, really since my birthday, your girl's been extremely social. That's fine. I think I might have talked about this on the last episode. However, it is time for me to sit my ass inside. Okay? I need to save my money. I need to not be doing all the things because there are things coming up that I got to pay for and I got to think about. But here's the thing. If you want to go out, please don't invite me. I do not need to go out. I don't need to go out. But also, please invite me because if you don't invite me, I'm going to have FOMO. Yes, I am aware of hypocrisy in that statement. But for my girlies who get it, you get it, okay? Like, I don't need to go out. I don't need to spend the money. But also, please invite me because that's going to make me feel some kind of way. So, how well have I been doing that since I got back this week? Well, I went out to dinner last night. And I went out for a margarita the night before. So, I'm obviously doing great. But it's okay because I got a plan. And the plan is to budget. And really, I just need like a month and a half to get my shit together. I kind of live in this mindset that money will return back to you. It does. It always does. And I have more to talk about that now that I'm actually saying this, because that ties into my divorce and this and decisions I've made or held off on making because, this or money, da-da-da. We're going to table that. It's going to be a whole episode now that I'm saying that. Maybe I should write that down real quick. I also need to like sit up. These chairs that I bought that you actually can't really see with this setup I have in my new place, they don't really offer a lot of like lower back support. So it's hard to sit up. And so then I slouch and then my shoulders come forward. And then when you have these line back shoulders like I do, it's not cute on camera. Anyways, I told you I was on one. But back to money or sitting my ass at home. I also need to like really lock in on the content and the public speaking and getting that going. I have been making videos on TikTok, so go catch your girl on TikTok at the In Between Podcast. Don't know why I post a lot of my fun things there. Maybe because I'm a little scared on the Instagrams because there's so many people from high school and people from my past, and I'm just a little nervous. Okay, I'm working on the imposter syndrome. Just gotta fight through it. But she'll get there. That's all that matters. Another thing that I've been doing more of, I've talked about this before, like trying to fight through the imposter syndrome again, since I am restarting the podcast and all of that, but talking about my stuff, like talking about my dreams, my goals, my podcast itself, where I want to go, the fact that I want to get into speaking. So Thursday when I met up with my married friends, Matt and Alex, to get a drink, because I hadn't seen them in a while, I started talking about how I wanted to lock in on the public speaking. And like, that was a goal I set for myself. And I still think I have plenty of time to do it the rest of the year. I mean, it just takes one little speech. I mean, shit, I could go do that on the sidewalk right now if I wanted to. But I started talking to them about the framework for the different types of keynotes that I want to do or that I have drafted and kind of brainstormed on top of what the ultimate end goal is with it. And just talking to them, one, immediately they understood the assignment, like they knew what I was saying, supported me. So we love that. We love supportive friends, okay? And Alex started talking about different organizations. He's like, yeah, sometimes my company will bring people in. This is exactly the kind of thing they do. Anyways, it got me hype, okay? It got me hyped, got me pumped. And whether or not something comes through with that, that's beside the point. It's share your stuff, especially if you're in between of like getting back on the horse or getting things in motion, starting something from scratch. I really do feel like talking about it, getting support from the people you love and care about and that care about you, it's really validating and very empowering. So shout out to Matt and Alex. Love you guys. For making your girl feel like, you know what? Yeah, hell yeah, I can do this. So I've been sharing more with people, and so far it's been very, very beneficial to not just brainstorming and thinking ahead, but also getting the actual courage and confidence and forward motion focus on doing it. So we love that. Snaps, 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 snaps. Two more things before I get into today's episode. One, speaking of being outside and needing to stay my ass inside, I went to this thing, like this Zodiac mixer earlier this week. And to be fair, I bought the ticket before I went to Hawaii, so it doesn't count. But I found it on Threads of all places. I mean, I'm a woo-woo girl for sure, even if I don't necessarily do all the woo-woo things, but I love reading about it and astrology and all that. So I'm sure that's how it found me. But I went to this event. It was small and intimate, sure, but this is the second event this woman has put on. First off, hit it off with the host immediately. She is so cool. We're definitely going to collab. She has a podcast. We're going to do a pod swap. I've been wanting to do a zodiac astrology, woo-woo kind of focused podcast. So I'm going to have her come on. I also want my girl Caroline to come on. She's my reader. She's also my friend, but she does my tarot and astrology when I'm like, girl, I'm feeling lost, or shit's not going well. What's going on in the sky? I call her. Also, why do I have to sing everything? Is that a stem? Is that like a thing that people do? I don't know. This girl does it. Thanks for following along. It's a ride for sure. But very, very excited to have her come on. But she was so cool, so down to earth. We, like I said, instantly vibed. She had a few little, I don't know, pop-ups, not brand activations. I guess pop-ups is probably the better term, but there was a vegan chef who brought snacks and things. There was a tarot reader, this person doing intuitive painting. I didn't get to try that out because I got there an hour plus late. Oops. And then there was also a tattoo artist. And when I was checking in, she told me that no, real tattoos. Well, your girl is a moth to a flame, okay, for the tattoos because she's trying to build her arm, okay? So, of course, naturally, I was like, well, twist my arm. Here we go. So they're having flash tattoos, which is where they're already predetermined. You got to pick one kind of thing. They had a really good deal for it. And I'm looking at it's more fine line, cute. I decided on two because, again, I can't say no to just one. And I'm talking to the woman. This is a wife-husband duo, and he's tattooing somebody. And we're talking, and she's like, which ones do you want? Blah, 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 blah. We're working on placing them. And so I ask her, I'm like, hey, where do you tat at? Where's your shop? And she says Marietta. And there's only one tattoo shop of Marietta that I am familiar with because I've been following this person for 2 years on Instagram. And I say, what's your name? And she goes, Sif, SIF, because she had an accent. I'm not sure where she's from. It sounded a little Slovakian, Russian kind of, but I don't know. And I said, wait a second. I follow you on Instagram. I've been following you for years. You're Sif. Wow. So it was really, really cool to meet this person who I've been following for a few years who does incredible, beautiful work. And she tatted me. So it was cool. It was great. And she was like, oh my gosh, reach out, blah, blah, blah. But she does fine line and realism tattoos. And like I said, her tattoos are incredible. Okay. It looks like a photograph has just been stamped onto your body. Just amazing. So yeah, your girl got new tats. So new friends, new tats, adventures galore. We love it. We love it for ourselves. The other thing that I want to mention is your girl has been struggling with vertigo. Okay? For those who don't know what vertigo is, it's you get dizzy when you get up too fast, when you go down. I actually don't know the medical definition of vertigo, but it's something about being dizzy and seeing stars. I made that up. Jokes aside, it's been a problem the past several weeks. Now, we know that I have chronic pain from my car accident that I still have issues from. My shoulder is never going to be the same. Blah, blah, blah. I won't go into it again. And I don't know if it's because I haven't been in physical therapy for a few months because my coverage wore out. The fact that I have not prioritized going to get a massage, which I know sounds very but I really do need it because my body is not okay. And I get lots of pressure points and tension and buildup, and it literally immobilizes me. I try to do stretching using a lacrosse ball to get those knots and tensions out. I have a neck retraction machine. Literally, I have all of it. Have I been great at using it? Not so much lately. Iris has been a huge distraction, and I've been outside doing everything but taking care of myself, it seems like. So I know some of this is probably I need to get back on the routine of taking care of my physical body rather than just only working out. But my neck has felt really locked, and I go to the chiropractor every couple of weeks. There's that. But I noticed a couple of weeks ago it started when I would go to lay down. I would lay down, and all of a sudden I would feel so dizzy. Like my body was just spinning. And it wasn't long. It doesn't take very long, but it's still a sensation that I'm like, this doesn't feel normal or okay. Then I also noticed if I would move too quick, if I would come up from a workout, a certain move, I mean, just random things, I would get dizzy, get vertigo, kind of get this whoosh feeling. And I felt it so much in Hawaii. And at some point, Ashley and I think saw my face, and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, I've been struggling with vertigo. And Ashleana is like very intelligent when it comes to health, body, science. I think her degree was in health science, like something super smart. Sometimes when she's talking about shit, I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, she was like, Liz, you need to get that under control. Like you need to get that checked. You need to go deal with that because you don't want to be creating more long-term issues. And as you get older, it's even worse. And I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong. Oh, I have a little visitor. Iris just woke up from her nap. Say hi. Hello, baby. Oh, big stretch. For those watching, say hi. There she is. Oh, she's licking the mic, everybody. You're silly. Anyways, so those are all the updates I have right now. Living the best life with this dog, going to Hawaii, trying not to pass out because my neck is locked and I've not taken care of it, and staying on my ass inside, but also not. Because again, moth to a flame. I must go out. But enough about that. I thought I would spend today, besides however long it's been that we've been talking about all this random shit, is not so much dating per se, because I do want to get into more dating stories and all of that, but we're working on it. We're getting there. I want to lay some groundwork first about like things I've learned or dating realizations I've had. Excuse me, Iris. My goodness, that was a big yawn. Not sure if you heard that. Sorry, I'm a little distracted at the moment because she just walked in and she's looking so cute. But it's things that, yes, I'm learning through dating, connections, people, relationships, behavior, worth, standards. And it's things that also I do feel like play out in real life. It's important things to think about, to work through, to be aware of, right? So one thing that I've recently been thinking about and ruminating on is how uncomfortable I am in uncertainty, like sitting in uncertainty. And this kind of plays into being fearful of the future, being fearful of the unknown. I'm honestly not scared of the unknown. I mean, sure, maybe right now I'm a little hesitant with it because these past couple of years have been rediscovering myself and finding the new version of me and you know, getting to live life as this version of Elizabeth. But after all of the self-work I've done and journey and self-love and getting through my depression, you know, stepping into the void and the unknown is something that I've grown to be comfortable with, especially like betting on yourself with like this podcast and putting yourself out there. That takes courage, right? But before all that happened, especially growing up, I was a bit of a control freak. And that's probably coming from my childhood, at least from what I have discussed with my therapist and what I've read in books or articles, whatever. Not to unpack a bunch of shit from my childhood, and not that my childhood was completely miserable. I've said this before and I'll say it till I am blue in the face. I hit the mega millions when it comes to my mother, but I think my need for control really came from a lack of stability and feeling a little helpless growing up in so many different ways. And so that held me back in being afraid of the future, being afraid of the void, being afraid of the unknown, wanting to control the outcome, wanting to control, because if I had control, I knew what to expect. There would be no surprises. You know what I mean? God, I was an anxious girly for most of my life now that I think about it. Anywho, with dating now and like that being this whole new, I mean, I keep saying new, but I act like it hasn't been like 2 years. But still, you keep learning new lessons. You keep overcoming obstacles. You keep meeting new douchebags. And you're like, gosh darn, how do I get out of this friggin' loophole? But the uncertainty with dating, like not so much, are we gonna be together or are we not? Like, are you seeing me and my boyfriend? Like, are we gonna get married? I'm not future projecting like that. It's more just like the beginning. Where do we stand? What are your intentions? Why are you giving me breadcrumbs? is something going on? I mean, I'm giving you all these like different scenarios. The uncertainty is the in-between of the action. Okay? That's probably the best way to say that. I have learned, or I've realized, I don't really like that feeling. So I'm having to sit in the discomfort. Not my first time, not my first rodeo with that. Okay, your girl got divorced and that had a lot of uncomfiness to it. But the uncertainty in someone's actions, in someone's feelings, figuring out, navigating all of that, I don't like it. It's a little hard. And I'll find myself trying to fill in the gaps. And here's the truth. I don't know the truth. I don't know the facts. You have got to stop. And I say you as a universal you, and also me talking to myself, okay? But you've got to stop trying to create the narrative when you don't know what's going on. You should focus on what you do know. And then you just have to sit in the uncomfortable, sit in the discomfort of the uncertainty. And sometimes that uncertainty is the negative thing that you were filling in the gaps with. Sometimes it is that they're not interested. Sometimes it is that they're talking to multiple people. Sometimes it is that they're a douchebag. Sometimes they don't have the emotional capacity to meet you. Sometimes they're intimidated by you. Sometimes it's they don't think they're good enough for you. Okay? So it's like you can't create the narrative to make yourself feel better, to feel like you have control of the situation. But you also have to be grounded within yourself and your self-worth, that even if the gap is the negative thing, even if the gap is the, it's not really what I want, but I understand, like talking about them not having the capacity for you or thinking they're not good enough for you, whatever the case, or the gap is the good thing. Like they're just busy or they're getting their life together. I don't know. You have to be comfortable with the uncertainty. So with that said, and also piggybacking off of what I was talking about, how I really had a strong need for control when I was younger, I have found myself being a little bit more of a control freak to myself, like not to other people or anything, but like more internally, the thoughts, the inner narrative, than I ever have been in the past several, like 5 or so years. I almost feel fixated on it. The uncertainty over certain things seems to trigger it. To be honest, the fear of feeling dumb, like you should have known better, shame on you, fool me once, blah, 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 fool me twice, shame on me. That seems to trigger it. But if you haven't caught on yet, the truth is you can't control. You cannot control anyone else but yourself. Seriously, tattoo that on my forehead so I don't forget it. But real talk, you do have to trust the revealing, the unveiling, the process. Trust the universe, trust God, trust whatever higher thing, power, spirit, whatever you respond to, whatever you follow through, even if it's just yourself. I don't know. It's been hard for me. Maybe it's because I've had multiple disappointments. Maybe I've had my hopes get up just to be completely cut back down. But as I was thinking about all of this and also just like journaling out today's episode and what I want to talk about, I did come to this place of hope is worth it. I don't ever want to forget hope. I never want to lose hope. You know, I mentioned the fear of feeling dumb, like I should have known better. That triggers this control fixation. There is nothing wrong with holding out hope or having hope. It's actually beautiful. It is beautiful that in this shitty world, especially the dating world where everyone is nonchalant and most people are scared of vulnerability. And what I mean by vulnerability is just like basic human connection, feeling seen, being afraid to feel seen, feeling inadequate, and they just ghost and they just disappear and they just don't mean what they actually say. Like, shame on me for actually believing you and what you're going to tell me. I'm not going to lose that. Sure, you learn discernment, you try to get better at it, but also at the end of the day, like, I refuse to look at this all as a game. So yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. It's how you learn. You try better next time. I say this so like cool, calm, girl collected because I've thought about this a lot, but also it still really bothers me. I still get bummed. I still get sad. There's one connection in particular I'm thinking about that I'm still really bummed about. I really like this guy. And I believed him, and he went radio silent. I don't know why. Who knows? I can't ruminate on that because I don't know the facts. It is what it is. But I'm not going to feel dumb for believing him for what he said at the time. I'm not going to feel dumb for holding out hope that, okay, maybe this might work out, you know? And on the flip side of that, I have to have enough self-worth in myself to know when to step away, to look away, to walk away, to stop trying, to stop chasing. Chasing is a need for control. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not agree that a guy or whatever should be the main person driving communication in that, but it is your responsibility to know when you are following up, pursuing versus chasing. If you're not getting met after several instances, you just need to stop. I guess that's where I'm at with it. But hope is a beautiful thing. We need more of it in this world. Hope is what carries you through. Hope is also one of the biggest heartbreaks. It's kind of crazy how parallel, polarizing hope can be. Because again, holding out hope to be disappointed, that's crushing. That's defeating. But holding out hope that it might work out, that's exciting. That's beautiful. And no uncertainty, no second guessing, no lack of follow through, no lack of communication, whatever the case may be, from anyone should ever make you question your worth. And that is hard. And I know I always talk about self-love and confidence on this podcast. I have been struggling with that myself recently. Well, was I not good enough? I mean, it makes sense why we default to that, but we shouldn't have to. Because in reality, I don't know what's going on or why it didn't work out or why someone went radio silent. But chances are it is 90% them versus you. I'm sure of it. I will bet on that ratio. I will bet on those odds. So for all my lovers out there, my lover girls, lover boys, lover theys, thems, all of it and in between, don't lose hope, but also don't lose your self-worth. And also know when to walk away, when to say, I'm tabling this. Maybe I'll leave the door cracked, but I'm not going to hold any energy here. And just trust, and I say this with a sigh because I'm struggling with it myself again, that it is going to all work out for you. I mean, I know it's going to. It's just frustrating. It's hard putting yourself out there in terms of dating. I personally have taken a step back from dating apps, but I am going to believe and hope and trust that there's going to be somebody who chooses me, who's not intimidated by my depth, by my vulnerability, by the mirror I cast on them, which I don't intend to do. It's just, I don't know, I guess I just bring that out in people. God, sue a woman who's got emotional intelligence and wants you to love yourself. And you know, I think all these messages and ideas pertain to life things outside of dating. So relate this to your own world, your own life, whatever else is going on. But don't lose hope. You are worth it, okay? Because also, at the end of the day, I gave love a chance. And even if that's heartbreaking, disappointing, and sad, and it doesn't work out, how brave and badass for you to believe in love, to have hope, to put it out there. I have a lot of friends that are single, and there's different levels to their jadedness, and also like the hardened, I gotta protect myself mindset comes in waves. Sometimes they're a little bit more like take the walls down. Sometimes they're like, oh, we are a fortress. I will do my damnedest to never feel completely jaded. Don't get me wrong, I get upset, I get pissed, I get sad, I get all of the things, but I will not lose my lover girl, because love is a beautiful thing. And I refuse to let the patriarchy of all things get rid of my lover girl and my whimsy for that matter. I will always be a whimsical lover girl till the day that I die. Mark my words. Mark my words. I'm probably going to have to re-listen to this episode myself, and like probably next week, who knows, when I am down the spiral loop of I'm not good enough, why not me, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, your girl's not perfect, but that's why we talk about it and we laugh about it and we remind ourselves, okay, we went through the motions, we got to that low point, but bounce back up, baby, because we're a lover girl. We're amazing. It is an honor to be in my space. I want everyone to feel that way. It is an honor to be in your space. It is an honor to know you. It is an honor to love you. It is an honor to receive your love. We need to cherish that. We need to cherish our essence, our energy, because it is an honor to be in our presence. So despite the horrors, I will not give up. And I said horrors, not whores, not to be confused. Life Lessons with Liz. That could be another podcast name, I guess. With all that said and done about worth and choosing yourself and not settling, blah, 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 I'm just going to put it out there because I'm feeling a little spicy. I was going to say, what doesn't kill you, but that is so dramatic. What doesn't make you question your worth will show up in your story likes on Instagram. Okay, well, that's all she wrote. And follow me on Instagram at ElizabethCheney _ and at @InBetweenPod for the podcast updates. Then follow me on TikTok at The In Between Podcast and on YouTube at The In Between Podcast. Love you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on the next In Between. I'm Elizabeth. Bye.